a story that will be told in that village for years to come. This story happened deep in the heart of Siberia, where the forests are so thick that sunlight barely breaks through the canopy. A man named Nikolai, an old gamekeeper, lived at the very edge of the woods. He knew every trail and path like the back of his hand, had seen bears and wolves, but one day he encountered something even his years of experience couldn't explain. It was early spring, when the snow had mostly melted, but the nights still held a bitter chill. Nikolai was in his cabin, repairing a broken ski, when he heard a sound outside, quiet, strained, like something was calling for help. He grabbed his flashlight and stepped out onto the porch, and froze. Standing at the edge of the yard was a lynx. Not wild-eyed or angry, like animals often are when they feel threatened. No, she was limping slightly and staring straight at him. In her eyes there was no rage, only worry. And something else Nikolai would later describe with one word: pleading. He considered scaring her off with a shout, but the lynx didn't move. She simply turned, looked back once more, and began walking toward the forest, glancing over her shoulder, almost as if asking him to follow. Something inside told him he should. He didn't take his rifle, just his headlamp and some sturdy gloves. The trail led deeper and deeper into the woods, through fallen trees and across small ravines, to places Nikolai hadn't visited in years. And finally, at the edge of a mossy slope, he saw why the lynx had come. Down in a small hollow, tangled in the roots of a fallen fir, a lynx cub was whimpering, tiny, with a swollen paw, trapped between stones. It was clear the little one couldn't free itself. Without hesitation, Nikolai climbed down, carefully pulled the cub out, wrapped it in his jacket, and climbed back up. The mother lynx had waited, silent, watching. When he reached the top, she approached, slowly, gracefully. He didn't move, just waited. Then, gently, the lynx licked her cub and looked up at him, tilting her head slightly, as if to say, "Thank you." And then she disappeared into the darkness. Nikolai brought the cub home, nursed it back to health, and after a month, returned it to the forest. When he released the little lynx, he saw her again, standing between the trees. She didn't come closer, just watched. And when the cub ran to her, Nikolai let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. From that moment on, he saw the forest differently, not just as a place for hunting, but as a place of neighbors. Even the fiercest creatures, he learned, could love, and when the time comes, they can ask for help.